Hello everybody and welcome back to the first WiiU editorial. So, what is that? Well, I got a comment on the Nintendo TV. Turns out I'm glad people are liking the series where I broke up the toolbar. And normally, like I've been pounding in your heads with that whole series of Wii U Tour 5-1 to 5-5, I was mentioning how in the Wii U, whenever I do a Wii U tour, I always just show off a new functionality of the Wii U. I gave it one big overview in Wii U Tour 1. Wii U Tour 2, I added on with the new with new features and whatnot. Just keeping things updated. Make sure everything's understood. Well, in the well, first thing I should mention, though, I keep forgetting, is yes, as you can see, there's an enter on TV screen function. You can now enter your password on screen. I don't think I mentioned that before. I probably did in passing, but just so you know now. I mean, it's clear there anyway, so. You can also save your password, so you don't have to put it in ever again. But, I don't know, if you don't want people snooping, playing your game without your permission, or snooping through your stuff, or erasing your memory like a jerk, like these kids used to do back in the day, I would recommend you have it. I do. And you can't have more than one, sorry. You can't have more than one me on at a time. Miiverse account, Nintendo Network ID on here at a time, which separates your memories, your memory space, your system memory. It separates your Miiverse accounts. You can have different ones, and and so on and so on. So yeah, wave hello. No, I'm just gonna look around. All right, Spiffy. Oh, hang on. I actually have a notification. Hope you don't mind if I check my notification. I know that because I have a new Miiverse notification too. I think I know what it is. By the way, Miiverse is available. I failed to mention this in the Miiverse video, but Miiverse is available on PCs and smart devices on the smart devices internet browsers. They do have their own website. It exactly matches yours if you sign in. Let's see. Whoopsie. I always forget. The arrows don't scroll like you think they would. This scrolls. Yep. Yeah, they're making a big deal about this. Nintendo has been using Club Nintendo quite more lately with giving out DLC and whatnot. Even though I still think they should focus on the gifts, they're trying to make it up to the. If you're from Europe and you're from Japan, you have to understand something. Here in America, our Club Nintendo is absolutely horrendous. They thought that adding 4 more downloads would make it okay, but it's not. I'm sorry, it's just not. It's not okay. A lot of us are mad because, there's so many people. Here goes a tangent for this really long. Well, I call it editorial. I didn't say what it was about. Anyway, here's the thing. Everyone has to be the beef. It's like, oh, you guys are so spoiled. I don't even have the Club Nintendo. I'm from New Zealand. Or look. I appreciate. We all appreciate we have Club Nintendo. It's a great service. But when they're cheaping out on you, here's the thing. When people pay for games, wouldn't it be better if you just bought the pre-owned, wait a couple weeks? Well, Club Nintendo really keeps us from doing that. People who are really into Club Nintendo, like myself. We want to hit Platinum. Platinum is usually 500 coins a year. Coins, or stars from other parts of the world. And what that is every game used to come with a pamphlet, but now it's inside the actual game title. Everyone got so confused. All my friends got so confused when we bought Hyrule Warriors, and were like, where's my Club Nintendo pass? That's what matters. It's a gamble to take Club Nintendo packets or Club Nintendo codes from used games, because not a lot of people, not everyone uses Club Nintendo. But you end up spending extra money for that code. You can get like 20 to 50 stars/coins. And then you fill out all these surveys. You're doing all this work. You would buy games just for the sake of getting a few more coins/stars. I've done that, especially with downloads I didn't really want. Don't say we're spoiled. Don't say we're just being jerks. Don't say we don't appreciate what we have. For people who are naysayers about this, because honestly, people work really hard to get to platinum status. People work really hard to show their loyalty. Because that's what it is, a loyalty program. If you're gonna reward us with crap after giving us so much in the past, that's what gets you. But yeah, back to the point. On Club Nintendo, they made a survey of the top 10 best Wii U and 3DS games of this year. I'm sure that'll be a tradition from now on. I love how Nintendo's very slowly adopting internet, which I really like, because Nintendo in the GameCube era completely against it. Then in the Wii, they started, but they're kind of struggling. But in the end of the day, what are you gonna do? Yeah. So, after I check this Miiverse, why my Miiverse, the ripples on my Miiverse thing's going off, which means there's a new notification. Yeah, I answered it already on, yeah, I already answered it on line. So yeah, let's get to the point. Today, we're going to head off to the eShop, and our first editorial. I guess this is how editorials will work. Now that I set up the thing. Hang on, I gotta play this game. You don't have enough time to memorize the order. That just sucks about it. Ah, so close. But see, we got some new music from last time. Mega Man Zero just hit the eShop. Okay, by the way, demos are available here. I don't think I mentioned that in the past. Yes, we're going to be looking at indie games. Now, indie games on the Wii U is actually an interesting story. Before Wii U came out, it was around 2012, there was all this talk about the Steam Box, the Ooh Yeah, all these games, because at the time, the popularity of indie games reached an all-time high. And with that, a lot of low-time consoles wanted to adopt that idea. Like the Ooh Yeah was all meant for that. Here's the thing: Nintendo came out, and so did Sony and PlayStation, but not as PlayStation and Xbox, but not at the extent Nintendo did with the Wii U. They adopted, they adopted indie games so well, and the eShop. I'm sorry, I think it beats out Live, and I think it beats out PlayStation Store. I always forget the name of it. I think it's Now, but I'm always confused with the TV thing they have now. Anyway, all of their indie games, pretty much here's how it works. They made it much simpler for instead of having to have a company base behind your game. As long as you have some sort of like, I think there's I forgot what the old rules were. I think you need to have a company logo. You had to have a certain amount of employees. They slashed all the requirements so indie developers can join. And on top of that, the way you get an indie game, a game on the Wii U, I forgot the name of it, but they had this system where it doesn't matter what file your game's under, it doesn't matter what format it's under at all. You can take the game as is, throw it straight on the Wii U. There's no need for converting things. There's no need for compressing anything. You can keep everything as you design it on your hardware, and it'll work on the Wii U. So that was a fantastic thing, and indie games have been doing really, really well because of it. So well that an eShop, obviously, because of all the support, has their own section for indie games. I'm going to start from the beginning and slowly scroll up. And yeah, it doesn't seem like they're in order of release like I thought they would. Percy's Predicament, I actually think I own the mobile version of that. Chasing Aurora is one of the first indie games I've ever seen on the Wii U. In fact, it was the only things on the eShop for a while, as well as some other games. Mutant Mudds Deluxe, a little interesting thing I read a few months ago, I think a year ago, somewhere around there. Mutant Mudds did the best on this game. So did I think it sold more on the eShop, both the Wii U and 3DS, than did ever in anywhere else. And Mutant Mudds is something I really want to try out one of these days. There's a lot of interesting things. Now, my stance on indie games is I love indie games. If it's well done, it's well done. So it's a nice little thing because a lot of indie games do think outside the box. However, at the same time, indie games are starting to fall in popularity, and I'm going to be honest with you, I know why. I get it. A lot of indie developers make either a Metroidvania game or a horror survival game because those are making the money, and it's starting to follow the corporate system in which a lot of people got upset with. AAA games are still coming to popularity. What really hit a lot hit people to go in the indie game scene in its prime a couple years ago in the first place. In my opinion, this is all opinion based, by the way. I'm not going to say this is a fact. Is because a lot of AAA developers like EA and Ubisoft started getting their noses into your business. They started, then there's Xbox One, 2. They started getting your nose in your business. They're starting to think they know what you want. The first-person shooters have been an incredible oversaturation. It's just been a little nuts. But yeah. That aside, indie games can be very outside the box. They can be very interesting, and I really enjoy the ideas behind them. I'll stop when I notice some games are really interesting. Puddle is very good. Neko Entertainment I can definitely recommend. Same thing with Way Forward. Out of all the indie developers, Way Forward is one of my favorites. And they also do work for Capcom now and then. They developed the DuckTales Remastered. They also made Mighty Switch Force, which I own. When it comes to indie games, I don't own that much yet. I'm very particular with indie games. I want to really know what I'm getting myself into before I get into them. But that's just me. Spin the Bottle Bumpy's Party was really popular when it first came out on the eShop. 1001 Spikes is on here, very popular. Cloudberry Kingdom is also very popular. Bit Trip, this is one of the ones I have. Very fun indie game. Gaijin Games. And it's got some cool DLC. I'm sure a lot of people have played Bit Trip. Very fun. It's one of those. It's a rhythm platformer game where you're constantly moving. Got to dodge everything. Got to collect stuff. Very fun. Let's see. Bombing Bastards. I think I'm aware of. I think that was very popular. IQ Test was very popular. And you can. I'm trying to remember everything because. There was some interesting indie games that made on the WiiU Plaza got so popular, and there's some really good games here. Mighty Switch Force is another one. I have Mighty Switch Force 1. I gotta get Mighty Switch Force 2 soon. Mighty Switch Force Hyperdrive Edition. Is a HD upscaling from the 3DS game, so that's really cool, and that's a very fun puzzle platformer. Puzzle platformers, I tend to be my favorite kind of indie game. I don't know why, I just tend to really love them. But one of my favorite indie games ever is actually something I played on this channel. Little Inferno, I did a walkthrough on that. Well, it was pretty much a Let's Play, but I called it a walkthrough. Meme Run is a game that's a lot of controversy right now, but as I'm seeing from a lot of reviewers, it's actually really fun and addicting and very hard. Pixel Paint was very popular when it came out. Here we go. Yeah, Little Inferno is a game I absolutely adore. I really hope the Tomorrow Corporation does more. Excellent game. That I can recommend. Spiky Walls is also very popular. RC Maniacs, I think that's how you pronounce it. The developer of Spiky Walls there. I bought their games. They have some pretty cool games. Very small, tiny, little cheap games. It's nice. It's worth its price. I have Block Drop U. They have a poker game that's pretty interesting. They just made a new Block Drop U game. Yeah, here's the original Block Drop U. I think Color Zone was pretty popular. Nano Assault Neo was popular. Looks like there's an indie sale right now. Thomas All Alone is a game I just bought. Highly recommend it. I think it's a fantastic game. I'm definitely planning on doing it for this channel one of these days because my first ever Let's Play was Limbo, which I wish would be on the Wii U eShop. That would be fantastic. Maybe one day. I know there's a sequel coming out for Xbox One, so it's probably unlikely. But I really enjoy this game. Like I said, puzzle platformers seem to be my. It's just a coincidence, I guess. But I just happen to have the indie games I happen to have the most of are puzzle platformers. I buy most of my indie. I used to buy most of my indie games actually on Steam, and I still do. It's not available on the eShop, but I always keep my eye out on the eShop for stuff that I'd be interested in. Another Block Drop game. Edge, I think, was popular. But yeah, it's something to keep your eye out for when it comes to indie games. Actually, let me go back there for a sec. I saw something on the filter. I don't know if that was really showing everything. Indie games. Take a look at these fresh releases from independent developers. And I've seen a lot of Oh, there we go. Yeah, wanted by latest. And there's Shovel Knight. Get Shovel Knight. Buy Shovel... Oh, I hit the mic. I was so excited. Buy Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight is a fantastic game. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, this is how I like it. I always like it when they just do the... by release date. I don't know why it was... I guess it was done by popularity or just a random thing since it had none on the filter, but... Yeah, I'm going to show you what the eShop originally looked like. This page right here, Trying to is very popular, and they're very good indie games. Don't get me wrong. The Cave though, I was really excited for, and the fact that Sega made an indie game style thing, I thought was really interesting. But I got bored with it really fast. I mean, maybe if you guys, if you guys, you know, don't take my word for it. I'm not a game reviewer, but I personally I got bored with it. I thought it was interesting. It was really cool at first, but then it got really repetitive. And but yeah, this is pretty much what the original eShop looked like first, though, when you first turn it on, along with Mario U and New Super Mario Brothers U, and I think Arkham City was on there. Then we had, what else was there? Probably that's probably it. Oh my god, all the games. Nintendo Land was on there for a while, but now it's not. Which I thought was kind of dumb, but they want to sell the game, I guess. The actual disc. But yeah. Let me just check this news. I'm going to keep you guys here a little longer. Get started with your system. I guess this is for everyone who's getting the Wii U's for Christmas. Which I heard the Wii U's did very well in France, apparently. Didn't beat the PS4, but beat the Xbox One by a mile, I hear. I do a lot of reading on Nintendo news, so, you know, I'll throw some tidbits about that during these editorials. If you have any suggestions for the editorials, definitely let me know. I'll be thinking about some myself. Let me go on my... I'm so stupid. I want to credit the guy who gave me this idea, because it was a very good idea. He was just telling me you guys should definitely look up some... let me see. Hang on. We didn't break anything. Pause the video so I can go down to the comment section. Let's see. Shashwat Pant. Thank you. You rock. I'm going to put your channel in the description. Yeah, thank you for the suggestion. Actually, these Wii U tours, I have to say, is something I really do like to do. Because, I don't know, because every time I see my friends... when they first get a Wii U, because I was the first one to get a Wii U, and I figured everything out. It is a console that takes some getting used to, particularly, of course, with the, what was it, yeah, you know, I always do this. Oh my god, I always do this. Oh yeah, particularly with the fact that there's two screens. You know, you don't know what to look at. It's kind of confusing. It's a whole new console. It's a whole new Nintendo. I mean, this menu system is drastically different than the Wii or PS3 or 360. Especially since you have two screens that Nintendo utilized very well. I wish the YouTube app utilized it very well, but I'm just looking at it right now on the WiiU Plaza. That's why I mentioned. Okay, so that's it, everybody. Keep your eye on the WiiU Plaza for some indie games. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I've been Billy, your video game analyzer. Have a good day, good night, whenever you're watching this. And I'll see you next time.